What is the real reason why Peterbot is continuing to contest Pollo? How has the actual off-spawn fight been going so far, including the total score, and why this could potentially lead to Clix getting his first ever FNCS win? I want to break down all of the off-spawn drama for you guys in today's video. We're going to see what starts though. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. Cannot thank everybody enough who uses my code. Without further ado though, let's jump straight into it. So this lore honestly goes back a lot farther than I feel like a lot of people realize. We gotta throw this all the way back to Grimgate season, the first season where Peterbot and Pollo were able to get the best drop spot. And when we rewind to that season, I feel like the main thing that a lot of people point to for who was actually contesting Peterbot at the time was Acorn and Cold. They were really the only real challengers that they got, besides maybe Quanti for like that span of 1 week. But of course, the Peterbot and Pollo versus Cold and Acorn off spawn led to some legendary moments.
On me. 100 on 1. What up, Acorn, buddy? I'm loading. Good, dude. Look at this bot. What are you doing? What are you doing?
After this moment, this really gave Peterbot and Pollo their off-spawn rep going forwards, which led them to eventually being able to get the scan coin in FNCS Globals completely uncontested, which definitely wasn't the main reason, but was a major contributing factor to why they were able to win LAN and also win every single FNCS they played together from season 2 all the way up until when they decided to split up in trios. But the main person that I want to focus on here is Acorn. Now, I want to show a clip of Acorn actually talking about how he never wanted to stop contesting Peterbot and Pollo because they honestly only contested them for one singular tournament there. And then after that whole clip of like Peterbot clowning Acorn and everything, Cold was actually the one who decided that he didn't want to con them anymore.
As I said, you had things that no one had, like a coin, like a forecast, like the island, like things like that, right?
Hey, you can
that,
go
like,
for island.
basically, I understand, but you had,
no. Your bitch ass because your ass off spawn.
Listen,
why don't you come test me again? Because you can't beat me off spawn.
Listen,
you're crying about what I had. You conned me and you lost.
Listen, yeah, I understand because you're not me. My teammate's crying in my ear. He doesn't want to con. But listen,
Peterbot and Pollo being able to alpha up the best POI on the map completely uncontested from the team that just won FNCS the season prior was one of the biggest like aura boosts these teams could have potentially gotten. But it is kind of insane looking back on it now that Acorn never even wanted to leave the spot. Let's go to the last season that had an FNCS now, Chapter 6 Season 2. Of course, Peterbot continued to land the best drop on the entire map when he would get Crime City, the train, the mythic, literally everything fully uncontested, led to him winning his 5th ever FNCS. And in that season, Pollo, Acorn, and Agers were landing Masked Meadow. Now fast forward all the way to this season at 3:18 p.m. for Pollo, he ended up tweeting out staying Demon's Domain with Acorn, Agers, and their coach of Raz. So this literally was Pollo's drop spot to begin with. It's arguably the first or the second best drop on the map. They already had this spot claimed before and they decided to stay there. And then just a little bit over an hour later at 4:24 p.m. Peterbot tweeted out Demon's Domain in everything with Ritual Cold and his coach of Raz as well. So if we just want to get technical here, Peterbot is the one that is currently contesting Pollo. Even though this is a fully new drop spot, Pollo's old drop spot of Mass Meadows was the one that got completely nuked. So he is going the exact same area and now Peterbot is trying to take that over. Even though last season didn't matter too much, I feel like the Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual versus Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs off spawn fights really started to show that Peterbot might not be completely unstoppable off spawn. There was still a lot of external factors like Cold literally never playing the game, and then Peterbot also went on a pretty lengthy break as well. But I feel like, to me at least, ever since Peterbot's prime has really started, we have never seen anybody push him as hard as Clix actually ended up doing off spawn, and I think that majorly played a part in why we are seeing what we are currently seeing today. Then finally, after all of the hype and build up, we eventually got to see the Peterbot versus Pollo off spawn fight. Just an absolute full circle moment from them two dominating every single team off spawn together to them going head to head for what could potentially be the best drop on the entire map. And unfortunately on day one, we only got to see them go head to head 2 total times with their full trios, and they ended up going 1-1. I think where this off spawn fight really started to heat up was when they finally went head to head in an actual tournament in the first tournament of the season, the Eval Cup. Now, this was one of the most fun off-spawn fights I have watched in a very long time. The first 2 rounds were absolutely dominated by Pollo, Acorn, and Agers, and specifically Pollo. Like, oh my goodness. During these first 2 rounds, the comments that came after this, I was seeing people say things like Pollo is the best off-spawn player of all time. People were starting to wonder whether or not Peterbot was literally washed now because of it. I think recency bias is a hell of a drug in the Fortnite community though, because the very next game, in round 3, we finally saw Peterbot pick up a win, and not only was he able to win off spawn, he was able to go on and get a 17 elimination win. In the first set lobby finals, he was able to make it off spawn from there. And this is going to be a little bit of a theme that you will actually see whenever Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual are able to beat Pollo off spawn. They really do show why they're potentially the best team in the entire world. Despite everything that happened in game number 3, once it came down to game 4, Peterbot ended up losing once again to Pollo to finish off their first ever actual tournament score at 3-1 in favor of Pollo. Now, up until this point, Pollo was absolutely dominating the off-spawn fights, and then we finally got to see them go against each other head-to-head in a one-on-one in the Aussie Antics Solo Cup. Now, there are some very funny moments game 1 where they ended up actually eliminating each other, but in game number 2 is where the drama heated up even more between them after Peterbot actually ended up accusing Pollo of using macros. So Peterbot ended up tweeting out, "Guess who got the gun?" And it was a clip of Peterbot quite literally already landing, being at the chest, Pollo still in the sky, and as he said in the tweet, the person who got the gun was not Peterbot, but of course it was Pollo. Pollo ended up responding to this tweet and he said, "Everybody knows what you're on. Stop acting innocent," with a laughing face and a clown emoji. So Pollo was also hinting at the fact that Peterbot macros as well, and already made a whole separate video on this, but I think the overall takeaway from me on this was if you think that Pollo is macroing, then 100% Peterbot has to be macroing as well. These guys are obviously literally best friends with each other. None of them would be trying to get the other one banned. You know, they share all of their strats together. They were literally teammates for over a year. If one of them has like the secret sauce, then they are going to give that to the other one as well. Do I actually think either one of these guys macro? I feel like that is more just up to debate. I think it definitely is possible, and I wouldn't leave it out of the realm of possibilities, but of course I'm not here to accuse people of cheating. I just wanted to talk about the beef that we have going on between these two. I think circling back to Acorn as well, it's just really so poetic once again that he finally has teammates that really don't care and will contest Peterbot no matter what. Adris has already said multiple times on stream that he's willing to contest Peter for the entire season, and Pollo of course is just down to go with whatever. And it's also crazy how Acorn's old teammate of Cold, who used to not want to contest Peter, is now the one who is actually going against. Literally just so many ex-teammates clashing here. This off-spawn fight is just so cinematic. Over these past couple of days, now that Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual have really been able to actually grind off spawn more, they've slowly started to creep up on the score, and the overall score between trios as of the time I'm recording this video is currently 6-5 in favor of Pollo. I personally value tournament off spawn scores more than scrims, so in tournaments it is 3-1 from the Eval Cup, and then scrims is 4-3 in favor of Peterbot currently. And this is only when both of them have been playing with their full trios, not like any of the fills or anything like when Peter was playing with or nothing like that. This off spawn battle has honestly almost turned into a ego battle between two of the biggest names in all of Fortnite. At this point, I really don't know what could lead to either of these guys leaving the POI besides the fact of the potential brand new Superman POI that has been leaked. As of right now though, we have no clue when this POI is actually going to be getting added into the game. I think for who this would actually hurt their rep more, this would 100% hurt Peterbot's rep more if you were to leave a POI, which would be the first time and I can't even remember how long, compared to Pollo, who I feel like has done nothing but help his off-spawn rep ever since he started fighting Peter there. Even if Pollo, Acorn, and Adris decided to leave, which I don't think they will, their rep as off-spawn fighters has just gone up so much compared to Peterbot's, who I don't think his individual off-spawn fighting rep has gone down, but Cold and Rituals definitely have. I feel like especially Cold, if he doesn't get to grinding more, he could arguably be like one of the two worst off-spawn fighting players players out of all 6 of these guys. This also opens up the major possibility on what could happen if these guys just end up contesting each other for the entire season. I think even if they do end up conning each other, based on the way that most of these off-spawn fights have been going, it is just pretty much a major 50-50 at the beginning, and it really doesn't slow down either of their game plans at all. I think one of the craziest stats that I've seen is Peterbot, Code, and Ritual when they are alive after off-spawn this season. So their match history is first with 17 elims in the eval finals, and then the rest are scrims. So they got a 27 elimination win, 21 elimination win, 21 elimination second, 13 elimination 9th, 10 elimination 11th, and a 13 elimination 15th. So even if these guys end up contesting each other for the entire season, and if they're both able to make it into grand finals while conning each other, I still really do believe that they still really might have top 5 potential in a grand finals. I don't even feel like that is crazy to say either. We literally saw like Vico, Vino, and Flixie finish in 6th place with no drop spot at all last season. It doesn't look like Peterbot, Code, and Ritual have missed a beat when it comes to their mid and end games. It's just whether or not they are able to make it off spawn, and it shows why they want this drop spot so bad, because could you imagine if these guys didn't have to fight off spawn at all? They could be fully on con every single game. I think they would look like far and away the best trio in the entire world. Other than that though, there is just so many different places this storyline could end up going. There is still the whole potential of if Peterbot decides to leave Pollo, that he could go and contest clicks. I am just so excited for the future of the Peterbot versus Pollo off spawn and the many different implications that is 100% going to come with it for the future of competitive Fortnite. Does this mean that Peterbot is now going to 100% get contested at LAN? Because you already know Ferdoxy is looking at all of this and being like, wow, Peterbot might not be as scary off spawn as a lot of people thought before. This could change things like who is going to win this season, who is actually going to win LAN. A lot of Peterbot's dominance comes off of the back of him getting on con every season. There is just so many different possibilities here, and I am just so excited. Other than that though, let me know if you guys like these like recap style of videos. I wanted to kind of go over everything we know about the off spawn fight before the official FNCS Divisional Cup start. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys. Please use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. YouTube says them like Winnie's 2 videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Follow me on my Twitter and my Twitch, link in the description down below if you guys want to support me even more. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.